Goal setting is the first step towards achieving success. Over the past several years, I've made countless resolutions. I vowed to get healthy, lose weight, and stop eating out. Time and time again, I failed or just gave up on my resolution. 2010 was the year I gave up the resolutions and actually set a concrete goal. As a wife, mother of 3, and full-time student, I set a goal of completing my first triathlon. I'm not a very athletic person, so this was a huge goal for me. I had stood on the sidelines and cheered on my dear friend Terry as she competed in countless triathlons. I decided that this was the year I would no longer cheer but actually participate. The date was set, June 13th, 2010, in Naperville for the U.S. Women's Triathlon Series benefiting ovarian cancer. I quickly registered so my goal was in writing. Now it was time to figure out a plan. What does a triathlon entail? This particular triathlon entailed a half-mile swim, followed by a 14.5-mile bike ride, and finally finishing up with a 5K run. I instantly felt overwhelmed. How would I ever be able to complete this while still standing? With the encouragement of my friend, we set up a realistic 16-week training program. I was going to bike once a week, swim once a week, and run twice a week. I began my training by trying to run a mile. To my dismay, I was huffing and puffing after just a half mile, and I had to walk. I joined a women's running group that met at 6 a.m. 3 days a week. To my surprise, each week I could run further without having to walk. Within 10 weeks, I was running the whole 3.1 miles with moderate ease. I started biking on a trail through the woods. The bike came fairly easy. I just needed to work on getting faster. Once a week, I biked 15 miles and added more hills each week to help me get faster. I also swam once a week on Monday nights in the local high school. I grew up on a lake, so swimming was second nature. I was feeling confident that I was in fact going to be able to complete this triathlon and possibly do it well. This all changed the day of my first brick workout. A brick workout is combining 2 of the 3 exercises into one workout. I biked the 15 miles, jumped off my bike, and started to run. My legs felt like jello. I had barely run a half mile and I needed to walk already. Again, I felt discouraged. How in the world would I ever be able to run 3.1 miles after biking 14.5 miles and swimming a half mile? Maybe I just set too big a goal for myself. I again got encouragement from my friends and family, so I kept forging ahead. Finally, June 12, 2010 had arrived. It was the night before the race. I went to bed early, tried to sleep, awoke at 4 a.m., got dressed, unloaded, and headed to Naperville. I had butterflies the entire time. I bit my nails in anticipation. Finally, it was time. My wave was in the water, the bell sounded, and I was off. Feet were kicking, water was flying, but I was doing it. As I rounded the second turn, I heard this booming voice. "You can do it, Amy." It was my husband cheering me on. I felt so proud. The swim was over before I knew it, and up the beach I ran, where my family was waiting with signs, and my children cheered, "Go, Mommy, go." I went into transition, threw on my shoes and helmet, and off I went to start my 14.5-mile bike ride. I felt so confident as I rode out of the chute. As I was riding, I noticed that I was being passed left and right. What was going on? I felt prepared. I'd been biking for 16 weeks. Little did I know the importance of a race bike, or at least road bike tires. Here I was, riding my heart out on my mountain bike with gigantic tires full of tread. I later found out that with tires, bigger does not mean better. It just means slower. Lesson learned. I finished the bike ride in a slower time than I would have liked, racked it up, and headed out on my 5K. I was tired but determined to make it. I ran as much as I could. I did have to stop to walk for a few minutes to recoup, but I quickly returned to running. As I was approaching the last half mile, there was my friend waiting for me to run in the last little bit. She offered me the right encouragement I needed to finish the race strong. As I approached the finish line, I could hear the music blaring and people cheering. I gave one last push and crossed the finish line. There was my family, all cheering in tears because they were so proud I'd done it. I had done it. I had attained my goal and completed my very first triathlon. Motivated by my own success, I set a goal to do another one 2 months later in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This time, my goal was not to just complete the triathlon, but to complete it with a faster time. I think the addition of road tires helped me achieve this newer goal. Setting goals gives you a target to aim for. It helps you concentrate your time and effort, and it provides a roadmap to take you from where you are to where you want to be. As Earl Nightingale said, people with goals succeed because they know where they are going. It's as simple as that.